some letters that have multiple pronunciations, like C can sound like S or K, Y can sound like Y or Y, G can sound like G, or the J sound in image, right? Or it can sound like the J sound in garage. So it can sound like image, the J, or J, or G. If we use the International Phonetic Alphabet, they're all spelled differently. So they all rhyme, they all use the same vowel to rhyme. Here, they're all spelled differently because they don't rhyme. And here, each of those sounds has its own spelling. So what's special about the International Phonetic Alphabet is that there's no multiple pronunciations and everything's perfectly phonetic. Language learners, people who are learning English as a second language, a lot of my Chinese friends who are learning English, when they see a new word, they write IPA above it because the spelling in English is so random, but they can use IPA to tell them, oh, this is how it's pronounced. IPA is also useful because it shows us hidden sounds in simple phrases we may not have noticed before, recording the sounds of English and other languages. So in looking in this sentence, for example, in of, we don't say off with an F, we say of with a V, of, right? Even though it's spelled off. When we say sounds, even though it's spelled with an S, we say the Z sound, sounds. In English, we don't say English, we say English, and that's recorded here with the ing sound. In languages, there's a secret W, languages, right? So when we record things perfectly phonetically, we find hidden sounds that we don't even know we're making. And you can see that there's all sorts of secret rules to English pronunciation that we follow without even knowing it. That's important for when you're teaching people English as a second language. We learn these rules as babies without even trying. For example, when you have a plural S at the end of the word, it changes to a Z sound. The plural S, which is unvoiced, changes to a voiced Z when it comes after a vowel, another S, or a voiced consonant. So logs, tubes, beds, moves, clothes, becomes, he's, passes. Those all change to a Z sound, passes. So IPA helps us record and explore these rules, right? It helps make more scientific the science of articulation and language. In addition to helping second language learners, it's also great for musicians. My best friend is a professional vocalist. She's a singer, and she can read IPA fluently. And because of this, she can sing in any language you throw at her, even though she doesn't know what she's saying. So, like, I've heard her sing in Mandarin. It sounds great because she can make all these sounds. It's great for actors who are learning accents. Like, you know, Key and Peele. Have you ever seen Jordan? It's Keegan Michael Key. He does a lot of amazing accents, and he would use IPA to help him. And then it's really great for researchers who are recording accents or people who record speech problems. Next week, we're going to start looking at African American Vernacular English, AAVA. It used to be called Black Standard English, BSE, which is a distinct dialect of American English, and it has consistent sound changes, and it should be as respected as regular English, but it's not because of racism and history. So we're going to look at that because it affects some people's texts, and we'll use IPA to help us look at it. Today, what you're going to do is go to https://2phonetics.com. There, you'll paste your English text, your text that you're working on, and make sure you set it to American, because if it's set to British, it's going to mess you all up, because their phonetics are completely different from the way we pronounce words. We say our R's, British people don't, for example. Set it to American, and then hit show transcription, and it will convert your entire text from American English, from English spelling to IPA. Then you're going to answer some questions about why IPA is useful, and you'll choose some symbols in there and explain what they say. Okay?